Hello everybody and welcome back. It's been about 2 weeks since I installed this nuke, and last week I did a brief inspection just to locate the queen, and I located her. The hive was healthy. It's going to get warm here. It's been in the 60s here the last week or so. Cooler at night, but it's going to get up into the 70s here shortly, and it might be time to put on another box onto my bottom deep to give them more room to expand. Obviously it was a 5-frame nuke, so they had 5 to build out. They hadn't started really building out anything the last time we were here, but in the past week they've been more busy. As you can see, they're really busy today, bringing in pollen, bringing in nectar, and where I'm going to take a look and see if we're about 80% full on the bottom deep. If they've started drawing out the bottom frames, I might move a couple frames around to get them to start building on another side. We'll see once we get in there, but I brought another deep over there, as you can see. Full of frames. I got my smoker, I got my sugar water, hive tool, I got everything that I need. If I decide not to not to put this on today, I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm just going to stick it onto my empty hive right here. I'm waiting for a package of bees for this hive, which won't come for another week or so. So this hive is sitting empty, so instead of dragging it all the way back to the house, to the garage, I'm just going to set it on top of there. That way I have it, because most definitely in the next week or so I'm going to have to put on another box. So anyways, let's give these bees a little smoke. My last video, some people noted that I might have used a little too much smoke, which is fine. I appreciate the feedback, and that's what it's really all about. And I'll open up the cover and give them a little smoke in here. Of course, we're just going to give that a couple seconds. Apparently too much smoke, you bother them too much and they can start to abscond. They might not like it around here anymore, so we don't want that. So what we'll do is dial it down a little bit, and that's fine. It's all a learning experience, and that's actually what this journal is really about. So I'm just going to give them a little bit, and now I'm going to take off the cover. Obviously I've got an empty in here with a feeder, which they're almost done with, looks like. Set that over here aside. Now I'm actually going to take just a little smoke and smoke them down just a hair. Just to calm them down a little bit. Get that pheromone out of there. And then I'm going to need the hive tool, because this is down for a while. I just cover up a little bit. No clean on there, doesn't look like. Looks like we're starting to build a little burr comb on the top of the inner cover. I don't know if you can, hope you can see that, but I'm going to scrape that off, get that out of there, because we don't want it. Okay. So let's take a look, and yeah, it looks like they've started in on these newer frames. I'm just gonna give them a couple puffs here, no big deal. I'm not gonna look for the queen today. That's not the objective. I'm just gonna see what they want to do with these, what they've done with these frames here. So They haven't really done anything to this side, of course. And while they're crawling on this one, I don't see too much. Hopefully you can see this. A nice big drone right there compared to the other ones. Another drone. You don't really see. Yeah, they are starting to pull it out just a little bit over here. Not very much. So we'll set this aside. Actually, I'm just going to put it back in the way I found it. So lay it right like that. This next frame, probably I'm expecting a little more. And they've really started pulling this comb out on this one fairly well all the way across. Hopefully you can see that. Boy, those drones are awful big. Woof. And then this side is really drawn out, and it looks like oh, I can see pollen in there, and let's see what else I can see in there. I don't see any eggs in there yet, so nothing really. Some larvae. I don't see any eggs, but that's good that they've started drawing that out. So that's really all I wanted to see from that. To see that they've started drawing that out, and actually I'm just going to move this over just a little bit. Well, I'm going to have to actually move all these over, I think, a little bit. Okay, they're getting a little testy, so just a little bit of smoke, just a little bit, not too bad. Because I bumped them a little bit. Need to get my technique down for barely moving these frames around. I just want to see here. Let's see what we got. This is another one of the new frames, and they've really drawn this one out, if you can see that. I don't see the queen on that side anywhere. Looks like they've started pulling this out a little wrong. I don't like to see that. So I'm going to actually pull that out a little bit. Okay. I don't see the queen. And they've started pulling this out pretty good here. They're not storing any honey yet, even though we've got a pretty good flow on. And that one's starting to get pulled out. What I'm going to do, all I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to turn it around a little bit here. I'm actually going to move this one over a little bit. I think I'm going to pull this inside. Let's do this. Let's get them to start building on this one, because that's the ultimate goal here. I can see what you guys mean by starting to sweat in the bee suits, because I've got a sweater on over this just to help me. This is pretty thin material, and I don't want like the bees to sting me at all, so So I've got a sweater on, and I'm starting to sweat pretty good here. I just want to remove a little bit of his burr comb. All right. Move that over a little bit. Move that over a little bit. Move that over a little bit. Move that over. And actually, what I'm going to do what I'm actually going to do is slide this one over, and then slide this one that's barely been drawn out. I am going to turn that around and slide this one. Hopefully. That's a tight fit. So let's calm them down a little bit. I smoke myself so that I can turn off any. That's it. And it still might be too much smoke, but I wanted to get in and out. But what I did find out was this. It's time for me to, I'm 80% full, and it's time for me to install another box on top. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that right this very minute while we're here. This is real tight. So let's set this down. Box over just a tad. Actually, what I'm going to do is push this down a little bit. Let's see if it goes down a bit. Give them just a tad bit of smoke to get them down. Not that I need them. And then drop this box on. Okay. Now the reason I brought this up is something to draw them up a little bit. So I am just going to. I should have tested this before I brought it out, I guess. There we go. This is just sugar water with a little homemade Honeybee Healthy. I got a little lemongrass oil in there. I got a little wintergreen, a little spearmint, a little tea tree oil, some lecithin for emulsification so that the oils will blend with the sugar water, and of course there's the sugar water also. So hopefully this will encourage them to start drawing out this comb and get up here right away, start doing their thing, their bee thing. I notice all the tabs are cut out on this one. This is the one I bought from my mentor. This is the hive he had made, and he's got all these cutouts already snipped off so that the bees can access around instead of going around around the frame. I guess that's important. I guess bees do that naturally, so that's what those are for. So what do I know? Listen to what others have done. Oh, look at that, one was already on there. Good. Bring your friends. Look at them all on there already. Wow. Tell you what, after doing this, my gloves are going to be sticky. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? Marty even engraved his name inside of this thing. Pretty nice little hive he's got going on here. So I'm going to try to space this out. Fairly well. Wish I had a hive spacer tool, but I don't. This is the boring part, but I don't think it has to be this this exact or anything here, so I'm just trying to get some even spacing here, and that's really all this is about. Okay, that should do it. Now, I'm going to put the cover back on. Oh, let's get this freaking out there. We'll put this deep box back on. Those bees pretty much could have cared less about me. They're pretty busy today doing their bee thing. And probably gonna need some new sugar water here, but for now, we're gonna give them a little bit of sugar there. And then we'll put the cover on. Easy peasy Japanesey. And then for good measure, just wanted to show you what I picked up here. My partner there, I picked up a bird bath, and got a few rocks and put it in there. So this is going to be my bird and bee bath right here. Just put a few little rocks in there. The bees haven't been using it yet, but I don't know if because I'm feeding them sugar water, if they have plenty. I don't know, but like I said, it hasn't been that hot out here, but hopefully soon they start using it. A few rocks in there so they won't drown, and only picked it up for 54 bucks. It was on sale, 20% off, and so I got it for like 43 or something like that. So good price, good value, and that's it. Happy beekeeping. Thanks, and if you have any comments, leave them below, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.